Welcome to Game News Live, the semi-weekly news show when I can actually make time to record it and do it. Anyway, we're talking about game news. Let's get into it. We've got some Fortnite updates. Amazon Games has a game coming out, or announced, that's kind of neat. GameFreak is not working on Pokemon, and Zelda's doing really well to no one's surprise. Let's get to it. So Fortnite has announced a ranked mode that was actually supposed to drop today, May the 16th, has been pushed to May 17th. It will run from tomorrow when it launches, until the end of the current season, and then Season 1 will premiere with the next Battle Royale season. There's also Spider-Verse skins coming in the next update. It's kind of cool. They just kind of drop stuff like that, surprise, and I think that's really neat. We've been loving Fortnite here on the channel, at least personally I have been, and so it's really cool to see a ranked mode actually come in. Zero build will have duos only for the time being, and then Battle Royale will have, I think, solos through squads. So that's kind of cool. Really neat to see them finally adding a ranked mode. I think it's something people have been wanting for a while, so really cool to see. All right, let's go to our next story. It's kind of small because we don't have a lot of information. Amazon Games and Embracer Embracer Group, I should say, have announced a Lord of the Rings MMO, and that's all we know about it. In their press release, they said they are excited to have a fresh take on the Lord of the Rings franchise, and now's the time for it. I'm not a big MMO person, but I'd like to see what they do with this. I remember Lord of the Rings Online, and it looked neat. I'm not really an MMO guy, so it doesn't really... I'm just excited for Lord of the Rings stuff, but not necessarily this particular project, but I do want to see what it ends up being. Hopefully they don't just go all off the rails with the story, and they keep it, in lore. But anyway, I'm excited to see what they do with it. But yeah, surprise announcement, Lord of the Rings MMO. Is that Gollum game out yet? I have no idea. All right, GameFreak. Oh, no, we're talking about Zelda first. Got my notes out of order. Zelda launched last weekend to some amazing review scores. And I think the launch over the weekend has already passed up Wind Waker and Skyward Sword's first 2 days in sales, which, I mean, honestly, let's be real, it wasn't hard to do. The GameCube didn't sell much at all, and a lot of people didn't like Skyward Sword because of the controls, and it was a very controversial game. Both Wind Waker and Skyward Sword were controversial when they came out for various reasons. But for Tears of the Kingdom to have already passed up those two, and I think it's like the 8th or 9th best-selling Zelda game 2 days in, out of all the sales across Zelda titles. Man, that's pretty impressive for it to have jumped up so quickly. And it's only going to go higher. I really think it's going to pass up most everything in that list. I mean, just to be completely honest. But I'd like to see the sales after the first week. I think people will be both surprised and not. I do want to shout out Nintendo, though, here, because in a year where nearly every major AAA release has had game-breaking bugs or issues that make a game hard to play or not as fun to play, Tears of the Kingdom is just pure fun and well put together. And yes, there are some glitches and things you can do, but none of it takes away from the experience. None of it seems to be a problem. I've already seen some videos. I haven't watched the videos. I've seen thumbnails for item duplication glitches. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom's really good. We played it for 6 hours or so Friday on launch day, and it was a blast. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play since, and would like to spend more time playing it because it's such a good game, and I really love that Nintendo was able to nail this launch, especially after Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out. Well, we know how that launched. I mean, it sold really well, but there was a lot of blowback on that game, and I really think it speaks to just Nintendo's internal teams and how well they're able to optimize. And yeah, we can talk frame rates and stuff. The Switch is old hardware. It's weak hardware at this point, but it's still, I mean, I haven't, even with the frame rate slowdowns, I'm still having so much fun. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed Pokemon Violet a whole lot, but there are times where I'm like, man, this just looks terrible. Tears of the Kingdom, I haven't had those moments. At least not yet. I don't think I will. I think I've just been enjoying the game, and that's where I'll leave it. So yeah, it's good to see Tears of the Kingdom doing really, really well. Next story. Oh, this was a surprise. If you remember, about a year ago, the game Stray launched on PlayStation and PC. He plays a cat. A lot of people loved it. I remember seeing people streaming it. It looked adorable. I didn't really pick it up, but apparently it has showed up in the ESRB ratings for Xbox, and that's kind of exciting. Will it come to Game Pass? I kind of hope so, because I will definitely check it out. We might stream it here on the channel if it comes to Game Pass. If not, we might pick it up. It seems like it could be a fun game. I don't know anything about it other than you play as a cat, and I saw a few clips that just were like, "Aw, kitty," and that's my extent. That's all I needed to know. So it looks cool. I hope that I hope it does well. Okay, we were talking about GameFreak earlier. Here's where we are. Project Bloom, GameFreak's next big game, and no, it's not Pokemon. We've got a piece of concept art and like a small bits of information. We don't know a whole lot about this game, but it's cool to see GameFreak branching out. They need to do something a little different. They need to kind of pull away from Pokemon, because Pokemon's going to sell no matter what, and I'm sure the developers want to work on something different. I'm sure, people at Game Freak want to work on something different. Let's see what this is. I don't know. I'm excited. The concept art that you're seeing here looks pretty cool. We can make it a little bigger. You can go look up the image. I mean, it's just about everywhere. I don't know what's going on, but I want to explore whatever this swampy, foresty area is, and I'm here for it. Pretty cool. All right, let's go on. Okay, so let's get to the bad news. We saved the worst for last, I guess. Overwatch 2. If you guys remember in 2019, when Overwatch 2 was announced, they made a big deal about this PvE mode, and that has been officially canned. The modes and some of the elements are going to be focused as smaller events, but the overall, overarching PvE story mode has been canceled. And I'm going to be real honest, Overwatch 2 is a good game in the sense that Overwatch 1 was a fantastic game that I enjoyed playing. Overwatch 2 is still technically the same game, but I have enjoyed it so much less than I did Overwatch 1. Am I burnt out? Not even a little bit. I have played less and less of the game as time has gone on. I don't even think I've launched it. I'm probably going to delete it off of my Series S just to free up some space, to be real. So this mode being canceled is pretty much a nail in the coffin for me. I don't want to sound too negative or whatever. I mean, there are devs working on the game. Game development is hard. There was probably, a lot of reasons and missed deadlines that went on that led to them just canceling the overall idea and repurposing pieces of it back into the main game. But I'm going to be honest, I wanted more lore. I wanted to be able to play more of a story, and the setup they had teased and shown and looked like they had fleshed out pretty well. I don't know, it's just a bummer. I don't think I just don't have much interest in playing Overwatch 2. A lot of it is, just the game itself. The progression just doesn't feel as satisfying as Overwatch 1 did. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of done with Overwatch, and yeah, it's kind of sad. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. That's kind of a bummer though, right? I just see a lot of people going, well, I already didn't play. I was waiting for this mode, and now I don't want to play at all. Let's see what they do with the modes, though. Let's see what they come out with. I have a feeling they're just going to do like they did with Overwatch Archives and Uprising and those story-based events where you'll play through maps with bots on them, which just looked like what the PvE mode was, but now it feels like it's just going to be on existing maps, whereas the what they advertised, teased originally, looked like purpose-built mission maps that took place in familiar areas, but not just the same multiplayer maps like the current PvE events do. Like I said, bummer. I'm hoping for the best for the team and everything, but I don't know. I feel like I'm done with Overwatch at this point. All right, last bit of news, which is good news and weird news. Xbox has received approval by the European Commission, which is kind of the regulatory body over, I guess, mergers or competition or whatever. Anyway, they approved the Activision acquisition. This is just your weekly, I guess, reminder that this has still not concluded or moved forward, but the EU approving it is a huge deal because that's a massive, massive regulatory body to go through. The UK is still holding this up for Microsoft, and I'm guessing any American investigations that were going on. I haven't been following the American side so much because it feels like everyone's waiting on the UK and the EU to make a decision and other foreign governments to make decisions on whether or not Microsoft can actually purchase Activision. Looks like the UK wants more concessions. The EU has their own stipulations, which it's just a weird situation that the UK is like just keeping this going. But hey, maybe it'll wrap up soon. I don't know. I want it to either end well. I just want it to end. I hope it ends well because Call of Duty on xCloud and on Game Pass would be massive for both, and plus I would probably play more Call of Duty. I don't really like Warzone as a BR, but the competitive multiplayer, it's a lot of fun. I'll play Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirmed and those game modes. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope they wrap this up soon. I just want it to end. I just want to know what's going to happen with Activision Blizzard, and will Microsoft then target some other bigger publisher studios? We'll see. But I believe that does it for the game news show. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me while we do this. It is one of my favorite things to do on stream. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for checking out the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think about Overwatch. Are you enjoying Tears of the Kingdom? If you picked it up, I'm sure you are. And anything else that we covered, let me know in the comments. Sound off. Leave this video a like. Be sure to subscribe as we help the channel grow. It's all up to you. And if you're watching on Twitch, we're about to play some Fork Knife. So that'll be fun.